Cup final in the books. The focus now solely is on Tier 2 in the TTPFL. And tonight, we have the highlight from the top of the table clash and more right here on First Team. Welcome to First Team. I'm your host, Wayne Cunningham, partnering with the man himself, Jovan Novello. And tonight, our guest comes in with a view from the fan, but an informed fan because he is the General Secretary of the Eastern Football Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Gregory McBurney. He's also a journalist, stadium announcer, commentator, and all that is in football. Gregory, welcome to First Team.
Thank you very much, Amos. I mean, you viewers know as Cunningham, but we go back. So, Amos.
Amos.
How you doing? Thanks for having me,
are
man.
good. Ladies and gentlemen, as you see, we are in the breakdown set. We're getting ready for season 2 already. A man say, course, come and repossess the furniture, but that is not true. Right? It's in the back as we're preparing the new set for season 2, which begins in October. You know, but we want to give you all some highlights from from Tier 2 and talk a bit about the upcoming season and talk about a bit about the system for promotion in Trinidad and Tobago football. That's why Gregory is here. So let's get into it. Gregory, and we talk about that. Eastern Football Association is one of the powerful associations in Trinidad and Tobago because a lot of teams come out from there, and East team always gets promoted to the next tier. It used to be Super League, now it's Tier 2. Tell me how your association going and how you're looking forward to the future with regards to promotion to the big leagues.
Well, the association has been progressing well in recent times. Last year, coming out of COVID, unfortunately, we had to do a bit of a truncated season, so it was just one round of football. But getting ready for this season, which is supposed to start in August, we're looking at 2 rounds of football. And so far, we have 12 teams that are fully committed to the league. We have some teams as well that were in last season, but unfortunately, money problems. Money problems, and I think that's one of the biggest challenges facing all the teams in our zone, trying to get sponsorship to partake in the league. And of course, I mean, people might just watch and say, is football it easy and cheap? It's just a ball you need. No, you need nets, because the home team has to provide all these things. You need nets, you need corner flags, you need uniforms. They're not, because it's zonal football, not every player is necessarily financially in a financially strong position. So you're looking at boots for the players who can't afford it. And then transport to and from the grounds you have to organize. And the East Zone is one of the largest zones in Trinidad and Tobago because it starts at Mova Junction and goes all the way up to Arima to Pinto Road. So it's one of the largest zones, and in terms of transportation to and from, because for example, we have a team Barataria ball players might be playing one of the teams up in Arima.
Right.
You know, and transportation to and from might be an issue for some
one
teams
maxi
as well.
is about $500-600 or more.
Yeah,
But
so,
as an administrator, though, how do you feel about the revival of football? Just, you know, having the opportunity to really see teams move up from your zone and into the national park.
it's fantastic. It's something we're looking forward to. And a lot of the teams that expressed interest in participating in the league this year, that's one of the first questions that they had, particularly with the TTPFL kicking off. They were excited and they were asking questions about, you know, the ability to move up into the Tier 2 league. And so I think that's one of the motivators, really, for the teams that are taking part in the zones. That's something that they look forward to, apart from the prize money as well, which will, you know, tide them over for a little bit. That's one of the main motivators. And every player wants the chance to be seen, you know?
I hear you.
And I think that's something they're looking forward to.
Right now, the Tier 1 have a lot of teams that are originated in the East Zone. Just off the top of my head, Jablote, Caledonia, and these types, all prisons, all of them up in tier 1. But
Rangers,
Tier 2 are a bit scarce, you know. Yes, La Hoquita Rangers, you know. Probably half of the Tier 1 come from the East, but Tier 2 a bit scarce with regards to Eastern Football Association teams. Tell me how you're looking to lift your level to more or less bridge that gap between the zone and big football.
One of the things we've been looking at really is, or considering, of course, finances permitting, is organizing development programs and for the players within the zone.
You plug in that sponsor thing, right?
Yeah. Watching it. You see how everybody job now. We looking for sponsors.
We totally understand. You know. So right about now, where you all at with regards to the season?
Well, the season is set to start in August. We have some final negotiations that are taking place in terms of some of the stakeholders to get things moving.
Yeah. You going to say sponsorship?
No, not necessarily. I mean, that's always welcome. That is always welcome. But we have some final negotiations with some of our stakeholders to get things to be able to kick off. I don't want to put any pressure, so I wouldn't call these stakeholders' name. But once those are completed, and hopefully by the end of the week they should be completed, then we'll be able to kick off from there.
What's in store for the East Zone? Let's hear what's going on in the Tier 2 of the TTPFL. This is the top of the league clash. This match was from Tobago. Footage is courtesy Tobago Sports Live, as you can see, top of your screen. One of our more exuberant partners
Tobago Sports Live. Yeah, Kerry.
Yeah. Kerry's real come true for us, so we appreciate this or these pictures. First goal would come in the 17th minute. Jameel Lashley, that is the wrong goal, sir.
Yeah. Perfect header if it was on the other side. You know, the top of the line own goal, they call that.
1-0 to the hosts, QPCC behind.
Well, this is the top of the table clash, but QPCC is a big side, and of course they will look to come back, you know.
Yeah.
And look at that.
Jesus Delicia, second minute of time added on.
Big headers in this game.
That's what a header in the proper goal is supposed to look like.
But the defenders real struggle to catch it. They need to get some timing classes.
Time and belt maybe checked by the bamboo. This is 1-1 at halftime. Second half. Here's Phoenix. This is Jem Gordon's pass. Beautiful ball slipped. Slip pass. Che Richards. 51st minute. Phoenix have the lead.
Jem Gordon on the assist this time. Right now he's the leading scorer in Tier 2, you know. And
6 goals for Jem, yeah?
Yeah, he's deadly. You know, but he's the provider this time. But brilliant pass. Top player, that Jem Gordon.
Taking nothing away from the finish. Very cute. Just around the keeper. Left him a bit shocked.
Cute, you say?
Yeah, cute. 2-1 was the final score in this match. Labored into the night. Phoenix taking the win and back to the top of the Tier 2. Mr. McBurney.
Just 1 point
Mr.
ahead.
Cunningham. What do you feel about this?
Just 1 point ahead.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's tight and it's so competitive. I think that really speaks in terms of the quality of the teams and everybody really out to take the title.
No, it's early days yet, but it looks like this will be the theme going through throughout the league, throughout this league stage. With, up and down with regards to Phoenix. Anybody lapse could be in trouble because it's what, 16-15 or 15-14 with regards to that?
17-16.
Oh, 17-16. You know, I didn't read come in late. Yeah.
Never used to do your homework in school?
No, never. Just bright naturally. Yeah, and it looks like this will be how it will go throughout the season because Queen's Park playing well. You know, I had to call his name again, you know, in the middle of pulling the strings, you know, my boy Sean De Silva, you know, Jem, fantastic player, you know. I think at this point in time, I don't think he's looking for a national pick again, but he's looking so good, you know. If I want to see him play at the higher level, basically, I want to see him play in the Tier 1. You know, to see how he handles the pace, the heavier tackles and so forth, you know, and the constant play week in, week out. I want to see how he handles that because I think, you know, right now, he's looking super.
Well, you said Jem earlier, but let's talk about Jem Gordon. He has 6 goals this season. He has the winning assist in this game. How do you feel about his quality for Phoenix, the former Police FC player?
Yeah, I think he's been performing and he's been a standout so far. And for any team, that's what you want. You want to have somebody who, no matter what, you know you could call on this person to deliver. And he's been delivering. So I don't think they could have any sort of disappointment or goals with him so far, and hopefully he'll be able to stay healthy for the entire season.
I think Terry Williams and them in Tobago with Phoenix they locked down a nice bunch. You know, they locked down a nice bunch because I do see now Leandro Williams, that is he's core Phoenix. you know, and you ain't seen him participating much and know any background. He doing another thing. I think probably by now he's the assistant coach of his father because they're real tight, you know. So I believe that he's somewhere in the background. But if you see Leandro just taking, you know, like coming off the bench, you know the team right about now sparking.
And with that and those thoughts, we'll take a break. This is the first section of First Team. We'll be back with the second. More action from TTPFL Tier 2. Stay with us.
Time for Scouting for Talent.
Back here on First Team, the second section, second match in focus, PVDM United versus Harlem Strikers. Two teams really trying to improve. Harlem Strikers just on the cusp of the top three, looking for it. But Eric Charles would get the opener for PVDM.
That's Pity Valley Diego Martin United. Eric Charles with a nice little goal that is get things going at the St. Anthony's College ground. You know, they basically home around the corner in Westmoreland. So they're looking to rough up the opponents, but
it was Harlem coming on the other end. That was almost a goal. Yeah. Nice delicate little flick. They would find the goal though. After a bit of attempts here, a couple attempts, and Russ Dowden uncorks it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
The goal that after the pinball machine in the middle there and the box, you know, that finish was well executed. Touch. Well done. Top goal that. But P Valley Diego Martin United, they're playing well these days and you can't rest.
Here's some evidence. Ruben Rouse, 42nd minute, gets them back in the lead. That is his first of the season. A couple of first-time scorers in this match, Charles, Rouse, and Dowden. This one gives them the lead just before the half. Second half action. A couple more good attempts there from Harlem. They dominated the early exchanges. Another attempt from them. Trying to get in. It's a great save from the goalie. Excellent point-blank range.
Yeah, the keeper doing well.
PVDM also had their chance. This would be the way back in for Harlem. We're looking for it. Everybody's in the box.
But they just can't get it off.
Yeah, they had to give this.
He knew that penalty was coming. Yeah. Before he was on the ground, he was holding that ball. He knew that penalty was coming.
Had to be looking for it. Isaiah Leacock, 81st minute. This is 2-2 in the match.
Well taking penalty, the keeper, he was nowhere close.
It was PVDM continuing to look for it. That was Harlem, but PVDM on the counter. Look at this. It's almost a relay team for the defense.
Don't make jokes.
Harlem looking for it. Looking too much, too intently. What about the finish on the far post? Easy goal, Stefan Radu.
That was a beautiful combination of plays. The quick counter attack and precise passing was fantastic.
Where was Harlem on this sequence? overcommitted on the
But the
corner.
pace of this winger here was tremendous. He picked up and ran, and they were. All that was to do after that was finished.
They overcommitted and underprepared for that.
But the celebration is something else as well. A little bit undercommitted.
Overcommitted but underprepared for that play.
With their second win of the league, PVDM moves up a couple places. They're on 6 points now. Let's find out from these guys how they feel about PVDM. It's a team with the longest name.
Yeah, it's the longest name in football. It's actually Pity Valley Diego Martin United. It's a combination of the two villages in the valley. And they're playing some good football, but they're still in the bottom half of the table, I believe. We'll see that a bit later. But it's a busy club, I must say, because the youth team, the under-20s, they were in the final of the RBC West End, over the weekend as well. And they continue to play all over Trinidad and Tobago in various age groups and also at the senior level. So it's a busy club. They also have a big community initiative. They had a luncheon for one of their opponents the other day, Guaya United, and they have a different approach to the football, which I like.
But one thing I think I'd like to see more, at least from a zonal perspective, I know these teams are in competition right now, but it'll be nice sometimes to see some of the tier 2 teams, because I know the tier 1 teams may be a bit more hesitant, but to take up a friendly match every now and then with the zonal teams within your zone, even if not out of your zone, but within your zone at least, just to expose some of these players, to let them see what is the level of football that they're aspiring to. So I think it's something that some of these tier 2 teams should definitely examine and look at,
The defeat cost Harlem Strikers 3 points, but they're still in the hunt for the league title. Let's look at another team that we expect to be in the final offing of the league. Defense Force hosting Matura Reunited. Started very slow in this tournament, but
Brown have some moisture.
picking up some pace. This was Kellon Surrett, 38th minute.
But the Army have a formidable unit, because when they call the names, these are guys that played in Pro League.
Yeah.
You understand? So they just, probably drop down a level, keep fit, and to rough up this league. But the Army started slow in this league as well. But they can't count them out because they did that in the tier 1 and won everything.
Yeah. Almost getting everything here very early. That was a good attempt. Just unable to
Grace in the
sneak it into the near post. This would be a beauty of an assist. See it.
Look at
Great
that.
back
Hey,
heel.
well done.
Ala Guti. Shakib Jones, 50th minute, puts Defense Force up 2-0.
That was a sweet goal to watch. Look at it again. Check the back heel right about now.
Man said, Ala Guti, right now somebody in the bush going where?
No Guti, but here's Lukman Brooks.
Lukman. I know Lukman. This ain't no joke. Lukman playing football since he was 3. His father, Wayne Brooks, was Jablote's equipment manager, and graduated to national youth teams and so forth. Hard-working man. All his sons used to come football. Every game, about 4 of them running around. Lukman leading them right through like some little squirrel running around the field while the game going on. And it pay off. Lukman Defense Force playing well. That's what we like to see. Don't tell me anything about the history.
No, I was just going to say, unquote Mourinho and say football heritage indeed. But, speaking about heritage, we have Defense Force 1 winning the Tier 1. What about Defense Force 2 and their chances of winning? What do you think about that?
She's the right person to ask. I'm real biased,
That's fine.
Having come from an army family, I am very biased in this regard. I'll be rooting for them.
Yeah, but
I'll be hoping for them. My international side, beside our support in the UK, I feel ashamed to call the name right now.
call it. You like these things? Huh?
Justy! Given that they aren't doing that well right now, I could latch on to my local team, which is Defense Force.
That's a good mid-table team that you're supporting in Chelsea. I feel like they have a good chance to really move up and really go with the big boys.
Oh, yes. We're not going into the
I'll take it. The sad part is I can't even answer myself. I'll take it.
Because right now, you're covered Arsenal by what you call them the other day.
No. We ain't gloated in postseason. We gloated at the end of the season.
Yeah, well, let's be season.
You learn your lesson. You learn your lesson after last season.
Hey, I wasn't gloated. Well, let me get back to the league.
Back to Trinidad.
What's up? Let's get back to the results.
Yeah. Let's look at the table. Let's look at the results and then the table, the standings. Match week 8. So San Fernando Giants losing to Police. Police moves up into third with that victory. Then we saw Guaya United and UTT FC tying. Guaya scoring all the goals in this match. Own goal from Christian Baird, and then salvaging a point from Leroy Jones at the end. Let's look at the standings now. Phoenix on top. Queen's Park close behind. Police close behind them. Harlem Strikers waiting in the wings alongside San Fernando Giants FC. Those are your top 5. Defense Force are 6th. 7th is Matura United. PVDM United is 8th. They improved from 11th to 8th. UTT are 9th. Guaya United are 10th. What about the shape of this table, guys?
Well, as I said, it's shaping up well at the top, and I won't count out the Defense Force. So let's say the top 6, they could still have some movement there if anybody falter. Right? The key is for Police, Phoenix, and probably and QPCC, that remain consistent. Right? They won't win all, but a little 2-point drop with a draw, that will suffice. But the only unbeaten team right now is the boys of them from Canaan, Phoenix. Right? And they went up against the toughest opponent, on the weekend. So they're looking in good stead right now. All they have to do is not lapse.
All right, with that, we'll take a break. We'll be back with the final section of First Team. Stay with us.
I felt a thought on my head, and then I knew I was shot.
There was a loud explosion behind my back.
There is no need to suffer. You can come down to the Optimal Life Wellness Center where it is safe, it is affordable.
You don't have to take my word for it. You can come down to Optimal Life Wellness Center and see for yourself and experience for yourself what I have experienced. The life I now live is a lot healthier and more fulfilling. These products have actually given me a sense of a future, and very, very important.
TDT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Welcome back. And now we have the big dance, the A&D Goal of the Week. A&D, the most shop grocery from 100 Eastern Main Road in Arouca. Check them out, but check out this goal as well.
The goal of the week comes from the PVDM versus Harlem Strikers match. It was a bit scrappy to begin with, but some quality at the end. This is Ross Dowden, 29th minute, what a strike.
What now, we can't, it was an easy test, easy choice, sorry. They didn't make it too difficult for us to pick that goal of the week. I'm sure the people at A&D must be pleased, because that is a top shot.
I think I remember scoring a goal or two like that on the 11. When I was playing on the 9s on the 11s or somewhere around there, I think I scored a goal or two like that.
All right, okay. But people, as we said, we must thank, a special thanks to the people at A&D, the Must Shop Grocery up there in Arouca. They came on board with us. They plan to stay with us, I think. We built it out there.
Sponsorship.
We plan to stay with us. But special thanks to A&D. People check them out. It's really a nice little shopping spot. So go out there in Aruka and get some things and call first team. Yeah.
But we've been speaking about football and great football in Trinidad and Tobago. We had a couple of guests here, coaches. We've had, members of the league, people involved in the league and the administration. We've spoken about football being on the rise, and we've heard on social media people thinking all the good things about the TTPFL. But let's look at how other people may be feeling. How do you think other people may be feeling from other perspectives that we have on the league?
Coincidentally, I was listening to the radio this morning and I heard an interview.
Right.
And I don't think I should call this person's name. But let's just a former football administrator.
Right.
Okay.
Right. At one point in time esteemed. No longer so necessarily. But he was talking about football and he said, football in Trinidad and Tobago. And he said an interesting quote. I didn't understand it at first. He said, football is not coffee. What? Where are you going with this? And then he said, you have instant coffee or instant football.
Oh.
So in terms of the development, I think we are there. We're on the way. We get in there, and once we're able to implement the fully functioning tier system from zonal football, go all the way up to the first tier, I think we're on the way to seeing some improvements in local football fortunes.
As an administrator yourself, though, what do you think has to happen before we get into competitive football? I mean, to develop, let's say, the youth side of the game, really, to feed into those youth.
It is what you're actually seeing it a lot in the East Zone. A lot of the clubs in the East Zone actually trying to start their youth clubs as that aspect of the club now.
Right.
Because before it was really just a bunch of fellas trying to get a sweat on a regular basis, right, in some sort of structure. And now a lot of the clubs actually put in the effort into developing some sort of youth academy. You see, once again, sponsorship.
All right.
Money.
Yeah.
So once the money is there and corporate Trinidad and Tobago is willing to buy in, we should be good to go.
Let me go in the next direction. As we said it a couple of times tonight, as an administrator. In the top tier, and I believe in the second tier, these teams have to be what you call compliant, which is to have all your documents in place, your financial statements, your minutes, you have to have your board in place and your youth development programs in place in order to get into these leagues, in order to get into tier 2 and into tier 1, especially tier 1. How are you preparing your teams, the zonal teams, right, to meet that standard?
Well, we're getting a lot of assistance from the TTFA in that regard. The competitions manager at the TTFA in particular, Ms. Sharon O'Brien, she's been working with us a lot to really help to get these clubs to understand the importance of signing up. For example, we have the FIFA Connect system, which is the system that the clubs have to use to register the players. And in order to register for the FIFA Connect system, you have to have all those things that you just spoke about.
So club licensing already at your level?
Already at that level, and player registration as well, to be able to follow the players. A lot of these teams, that's where they're going to make their money later on. These players go and you play with your zonal team, you get signed to a tier 1 team, you get a trial at a British club, you sign for the British club, and because the zonal team, you've been playing with them as a child, that zonal team is now entitled to some form of compensation. So it really starts with this, making sure there's a proper structure to follow. Once that structure is in place, the only way is up.
So just for the general public, what you're saying now is like my grandson at under 12
who's playing with a club, once he's registered with the club, he has a FIFA number that follows him for the rest of his life, wherever he plays football. Even if he goes into coaching, it will follow him. That is his FIFA assigned number.
All right, people, you heard it from the man himself, Gregory Mabuni, top-level administrator. We taking a little break from first team. We're going to be back in a couple of weeks' time. We'd like to thank you all for viewing with us and for tolerating us over those couple of weeks, because we are quite a handful sometimes. Keep looking at the tier 2. The tier 1 is scheduled to start back in October, and we'll be right here on first team. On behalf of Jovan Ravello and Gregory McBurney, I'm Wayne Cunningham. Thank you.
This is TTT. Live for local.